In the heart of a quiet American town, where everyone knows everyone or so they think, lives Aaliyah Carter, a disabled black woman in her late 30s. To the world, she's just a soft-spoken woman in a wheelchair, living alone in a small apartment on the edge of town. People see her every morning rolling down to the corner cafe, helping stray dogs, smiling at strangers. Nobody ever asks where she came from, and she never tells, but behind that gentle smile lies a past darker and deadlier than anyone could imagine. Years ago, before the accident that took her ability to walk, Aaliyah wasn't just a soldier, she was one of the U.S. military's most elite operatives, a member of a secret special forces unit known only as Ghost Viper. Her missions were classified, her kills unrecorded, her presence erased. To her enemies, she was a myth, a phantom of death, a legend whispered across war zones. Now, she just wants peace, but peace doesn't last forever. One cold evening, Aaliyah rolls out of the grocery store with her small bag of essentials. As she crosses the alley behind her building, a group of 4 racist gang members corner her. Their leader, a tattooed man named Ricky, spits on the ground and mocks her, calling her slurs, telling her she doesn't belong. They think she's helpless, they think she's weak, they think she's just another target. Wrong.as one of them kicks her wheelchair, knocking her to the ground. Aaliyah's eyes darken, the calmness of a predator returning to the surface. Her hands move with terrifying precision. Before they can blink, she grabs a broken glass bottle, slashes one attacker's wrist, flips another over her shoulder even from the ground, and uses his own knife against him. Every move is surgical, efficient, and silent. In seconds, the alley transforms into chaos. When police sirens finally echo in the distance, only Aaliyah remains, bruised but alive, while the gang lies scattered and broken, groaning in pain. She doesn't wait for help. She just whispers coldly, "You picked the wrong woman." The next day, local news spreads the story of a mysterious disabled woman who fought off an entire gang. Reporters try to find her, but Aaliyah disappears. Behind the scenes, however, someone else takes notice, her old commander, Colonel Davis, who believed she had died years ago during a covert mission. He watches the surveillance footage and smiles grimly. "Looks like the Ghost Viper still hunts," he mutters. Aaliyah knows she can't stay hidden forever. Her past is catching up, and the people who created her, the same ones who left her for dead, have just realized she's alive. The world thought she was broken, the gang thought she was helpless. But they all forgot some legends never die. Been 2 days since the alleyway attack, the town still whispers about the miracle woman who took down a gang with her bare hands, but Aaliyah Carter, the Ghost Viper, knows better. There are no miracles in her world, only unfinished missions. Late at night, Aaliyah sits in her dimly lit apartment, nursing her bruises. Her service dog, Shadow, lies beside her wheelchair. Suddenly, her old military satellite phone hidden under a loose floorboard starts ringing. For the first time in 10 years, she freezes. Only one man could have that frequency. She answers. "Aaliyah, calm, cold, I told you I was done." "Colonel Davis, on phone, you can't walk away from who you are. You left enemies alive, Carter. They found you." Aaliyah's eyes narrow. She looks out the window across the street. A black SUV sits parked, engine idling. "Aaliyah, then let them come." Moments later, her door bursts open. 3 masked men rush in with silenced weapons. They're not street thugs this time, they move like trained mercenaries, but so does she. Aaliyah flips her wheelchair backward, kicks the lights off, and disappears into the dark. She moves silently, striking with precision using the shadows as her ally. When the last man falls, she whispers, "You're 2 decades too late." After the attack, Aaliyah searches one of the dead men's phones. A message glows on the screen. Target, Aaliyah Carter, eliminate before contact with Diavias. Attached is a photo of her in the wheelchair taken just yesterday. Someone powerful wants her dead before she reconnects with her past. Aaliyah plugs the phone into her old laptop, decrypts the GPS coordinates, and finds something chilling: a private military contractor named Vanguard Corps, the same company that betrayed her unit years ago. Her hands tighten into fists. Aaliyah, so, the ghosts are still alive. In the next montage, we see Aaliyah rebuilding herself piece by piece. She modifies her wheelchair into a combat machine: reinforced tires, hidden compartments, weapon holsters. She trains with knives, handguns, and her prosthetic brace, regaining her lethal precision. Voiceover, "Aaliyah, they thought my scars made me weak. They forgot, pain made me stronger." As rain pours over the city, Aaliyah rides out into the night. She knows this isn't self-defense anymore, this is justice. She's hunting those who tried to erase her. The Ghost Viper is no longer hiding. "Aaliyah, final line, they called me a cripple. Tonight they'll call me death." This part continues right where we left off, darker, more intense, and packed with emotional and action-driven storytelling, perfect for a dramatic YouTube short film narration. Thunder roars above the city as rain beats against the broken streets. Aaliyah Carter, the Ghost Viper, rolls silently through the shadows in her modified combat wheelchair. Her black tactical gear gleams under the lightning flashes. She's not hiding anymore. She's hunting. Her target, Vanguard Corps headquarters, a heavily guarded private compound outside the city. As she watches from a distance, she whispers, "Aaliyah, you took everything from me. Now, I'll take everything from you. The guards laugh under the shelter, unaware death is already inside their fence. Aaliyah disables the cameras, moves low under the rain, and plants silent explosives along the perimeter. Her movements are sharp and ghost-like, every step fueled by years of rage and betrayal. One guard turns, sensing movement. Before he can react, Aaliyah's knife glints once and silence returns. Inside the compound, she enters a control room and hacks into their mainframe. Files flood the screen, classified missions, names, and one folder labeled Project Revenant, Carter. Her eyes freeze at Aaliyah, whispering, "You experimented on us." Inside are medical reports, documents revealing that Vanguard Corps conducted secret experiments on her Special Forces unit, using soldiers as test subjects to create enhanced operatives. Her accident, the explosion that paralyzed her, wasn't an accident at all. They tried to erase her when she refused to obey. Aaliyah clenches her fists, fury burning in her eyes. "Aaliyah, you made me your weapon. Now, I'll show you what you created." Sirens start to blare. Security has detected the breach. Aaliyah loads her suppressed pistol and rolls into the hall. Armed guards flood in from both sides, but the Ghost Viper doesn't panic. With terrifying precision, she moves like lightning, shooting, striking, and evading. Every bullet finds its mark. Every step she takes echoes her past, from soldier to survivor, from victim to executioner. Guard, shouting, "Who the hell is she?" Aaliyah, coldly, "I'm the reason your nightmares have names." Bodies fall one by one. The building burns behind her. Finally, she reaches the control office. Waiting inside is Director Cole, the man who once commanded her unit, the one who ordered her termination. He turns, shocked to see her alive. "Cole, Carter, I thought you were dead." "Aaliyah, you tried to make sure of that." "Cole, you were too dangerous. We had to contain you." Aaliyah aims gun. "You should have tried harder." He smirks. "You're still my creation." Aaliyah fires not once, but 3 times, ending the monster who made her suffer. As flames consume the compound, Aaliyah escapes through the night rain. She's bleeding, but she doesn't stop. She uploads the files she found, the truth about Project Revenant, to a public network. Within hours, military officials and journalists across the country start receiving the leaks. The world will finally know what Vanguard Corps did. Aaliyah, voiceover: "They built me to be a killer, but they forgot killers remember." A few days later, Aaliyah sits at a small diner in another city. Her face is calm again, her eyes distant. She watches the news quietly, her name not mentioned, but her work done. Suddenly, a man in a suit sits across from her. It's Colonel Davis. "Davis, you've started a war, Carter. The people behind Vanguard won't stop." Aaliyah smiles faintly. "Then I won't stop either." "Davis, you're going after them?" Aaliyah, "Not just them, everyone who hides monsters behind uniforms." She stands, pushing her wheelchair toward the door. Rain falls outside, and lightning flashes as she disappears into the night once more. Aaliyah, final line: "The Ghost Viper lives. And this time she's hunting for justice." I can also format it like a YouTube video narration script, with timestamps, emotional cues, and voiceover tone. If you're planning to upload it, this part takes the story global, deeper, darker, and more explosive, like a full YouTube action drama script with dialogue, emotion, and movie pacing. Rain pours over the neon skyline of Washington, D.C. The country is in chaos. The leaked Project Revenant files have exposed corruption, illegal experiments, and covert assassinations. The government is scrambling to control the damage, and in the shadows the Ghost Viper watches. Aaliyah Carter is no longer hiding. She's become the most wanted woman in America, but also the most dangerous one alive. Voiceover: "Aaliyah, they built monsters and called them heroes. Now those monsters are hunting me, but I'm not running anymore." Inside an abandoned subway tunnel, Aaliyah meets Agent Marcus Steele, a disavowed CIA operative who once worked for the same people behind Project Revenant. He's cautious, but impressed. "Marcus, I read your file. You were supposed to be dead." Aaliyah, "So were you." "Marcus, you leaked the Revenant files. Now they've launched something worse." Aaliyah, "Worse than human experiments?" Marcus, grimly, "They call it Shadow Blood, a Black Ops unit built entirely from failed test subjects. Enhanced, unstable, and programmed to kill anything that moves." Aaliyah's jaw tightens. "Aaliyah, then it's time they learned what happens when the prototype fights back." Aaliyah and Marcus infiltrate a secure facility in Virginia, where the new Shadow Blood unit is being trained. The base is crawling with soldiers, drones, and experimental tech. They move like ghosts through the dark, disabling cameras and guards. Marcus covers her back as Aaliyah hacks into the main terminal. On the screen appears a list of enhanced operatives, all genetically modified versions of soldiers Aaliyah once served with, and at the top of the list, Subject 0, Aaliyah Carter. Aaliyah, whispering, "They cloned me." Suddenly, alarms blare. The door bursts open and she steps in. A towering, emotionless woman with Aaliyah's face, her DNA. The perfect copy. Subject 0.0, coldly, "You are obsolete." Aaliyah, "You're just a shadow." "I'm the storm." They clash in brutal, close-quarters combat. Every strike mirrors the other identical moves, equal power. But Aaliyah fights with heart, pain, and purpose, something the clone will never understand. The fight ends when Aaliyah uses a hidden blade in her prosthetic brace, piercing Zero's chest. Aaliyah, you can copy my body, but not my soul. Zero collapses. Aaliyah stands victorious, covered in blood and firelight. As the base burns, Marcus finds a hidden server. Inside is evidence that Shadow Blood wasn't just a project, it was funded by high-ranking government officials, including the defense secretary himself, Marcus. This goes all the way to the top. We can expose them. Aaliyah, no. We end them. Days later, Aaliyah and Marcus infiltrate a gala inside the Pentagon itself, a celebration for the success of Shadow Blood. They move in disguise, planting EMP devices and explosives around the hall. As the defense secretary takes the stage, Aaliyah steps forward out of the shadows. Secretary, panicked, you can't be here. Aaliyah, coldly, you made me. Now you'll face what you created. The lights cut out. Alarms wail. Explosions shake the building. The Ghost Viper strikes again, vanishing before anyone can stop her. Later that night, a video message floods the internet. Aaliyah's voice, distorted but powerful, to every soldier used, every experiment buried, every life destroyed by greed. Your silence ends now. I am the Ghost Viper and I am coming for all of you. She rolls into the darkness, lightning flashing behind her. Her eyes are calm, focused, unstoppable. Aaliyah, final voiceover. They took my legs. They took my peace, but they'll never take my vengeance. This chapter takes the story to a global level, full of high-stakes action, emotional grit, and the raw power that defines Aaliyah's journey. It's written in a YouTube cinematic narration style, perfect for video storytelling. A wall of screens glows inside the CIA command center. The Ghost Viper's symbol, a black serpent coiled around a dagger, flashes across the monitors. An agent speaks urgently. Agent, she's hit 5 of our black sites in 6 days. We've lost every Revenant asset. She's not just exposing us, she's dismantling us. At the head of the table, Director Evelyn Hart, the cold and ruthless head of Global Defense Intelligence, stares at the screen. Director Hart, Aaliyah Carter is no longer an ex-soldier. She's an international threat. Activate Ghost Protocol. The world now knows her name. Every major agency, CIA, MI6, Interpol, has her face on their most wanted lists, but Aaliyah Carter doesn't hide. She operates from the shadows of Eastern Europe, striking back against the same governments that once created her. Aaliyah, voiceover. They call me a terrorist. I call it truth. The world feeds on lies, and I'm just the poison that cleanses it. With Marcus Steele still at her side, they uncover a deeper conspiracy, that Project Revenant's experiments didn't stop. They've gone international, using war-torn countries as testing grounds. In Prague, Aaliyah meets her contact, a hacker named Nadia Voss, who reveals shocking footage: soldiers with glowing eyes, moving like machines. Nadia, these are Revenant 2.0, stronger, faster, emotionless. Aaliyah, then I'll show them what emotion can do. Moments later, an explosion rocks the cafe. It's an ambush led by the Revenant commander, a merciless enhanced soldier who once served under Aaliyah. The streets erupt into chaos. Bullets rip through the night. Aaliyah fights back with surgical precision, taking down operatives one by one, moving through smoke and fire, but Marcus is captured. Aaliyah, screaming, Marcus. No. Before she can reach him, the commander injects him with a serum, the Shadow Blood formula, and drags him away into the dark. Aaliyah wakes in a safe house, bruised and alone. Her hands tremble, not from fear, but from guilt. She looks at a photo of her old unit, burned at the edges. Aaliyah, voiceover. They took my team. My brothers. My sisters. Now they've taken the only one I had left. Her eyes harden. Aaliyah, if Marcus is gone, then so are they. The CIA and global task forces track her to Istanbul, surrounding her in an abandoned cathedral. Drones hover overhead. Snipers take aim. Director Hart watches remotely. Hart, into radio, enter. Now. But as the soldiers move in, something changes. One by one, their communications go dark. The lights flicker, then silence. Aaliyah emerges from the shadows, her eyes blazing. She's hacked their systems, turned their own weapons against them. Aaliyah, you built the Ghost Protocol to stop me, you should have built one to survive me. She wipes out the strike team in minutes. Suddenly, she's confronted by a familiar face, Marku, but not the same. His veins glow red, his eyes cold. He's been turned into one of the Revenants. Marcus, monotone, you can't save me. Aaliyah, tearful, then I'll set you free. Their fight is brutal and heartbreaking, mentor against partner, friend against friend. Aaliyah hesitates only once, long enough for Marcus to whisper, Marcus, finish it, before they control me completely. A single shot echoes. Aaliyah stands over him, trembling, whispering through tears, Aaliyah, rest easy, soldier. Aaliyah storms a secret data vault and finds one final file, Project Eclipse. Inside, a list of names, world leaders, generals, billionaires all tied to the Revenant program. She uploads the data and records a message to the world. Aaliyah, voiceover, they've built armies in your name. Killed in your silence, but the ghost viper sees you. You can't hide from the truth, and you can't stop what's coming. As her message goes live worldwide, Director Hart watches from her office, her face pale with fear. Hart, quietly, she's coming for me. Aaliyah walks through the rain toward the horizon, her combat wheelchair scarred, her face cold but alive. Aaliyah, final line, they made me a weapon, but now I'm the war.